Good morning, afternoon, or night to you, whoever's watching my video. Um, Today we're going to be going over C++ arrays with for statements to kind of get interactive with it. I may have you do something. We'll see if I remember and if I can. But I'm not too great on this, so I may need a reference if we end up messing up a bunch. I may pause the video, try to fix out my errors. Uh, but it's pretty fun because I'm learning, and let's hop into it. Let's open up a terminal, change directories to wherever you work. CPP1 for me. Now I'm going to sudo nano make a file called, I guess I'll just call it file.cpp. Get prompted for a password. And then we're going to include iostream. And then using namespace std. And then we're going to go ahead and make our main function. And it's an integer. We'll return 0 on that. And yeah, this is where it's going to get pretty tricky. First, we're going to make a constant integer, and we'll call it amount, and it's going to be equal to, we'll set it as 5. And then we're going to make a array, and our array is going to be an integer. So we'll make an integer array, and it's going to be called students, and then the length of our students array is going to be amount, which will be 5. So it's basically saying students 5, whatever this is equal to. And then we're going to set this equal to, or the values inside of this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the 5 values inside of it, the first one is equal to 1, second one's equal to 2, so on and so forth. Close that off with a semicolon. Now, this is where it's going to get fun. Let's make a integer and call it total, and we're going to set it equal to 0. And then we're going to say for, and we're going to declare an integer, x equals 0. X is less than amount x plus plus. Now, in the brackets, we tell it what to do. And right here is where I'm going to let you get interactive if you want to pause it after I finish explaining what to do and try to work it out. What you're going to want to do is basically you're going to want this part of your function. Give me a second here. I'm stumbling for words. Basically, this part needs to make your integer named total. It needs to make this equal the total amount, the sum of all these numbers. So it needs to equal 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Alright. And then after you have that, feel free to start the video back up. I'm going to continue going. Alright, so if you're coming back from working the problem out, the answer is total plus equals students x. And this basically is saying that your total is going to equal the value of students that is going through these. I'll explain it here in a second. And then after all that, we're going to say cout total, cout in the line. Okay, so basically total is equal to 0 by default, and then you're telling it to add itself and equal to students x. And if you look at this for function, x is set to 0 and it's less than amount, it's going to add itself. So at first it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Depending on this number, it'll keep going. If it was 10, it would go all the way up to 10. So basically you're saying uh, students 0, which is equal to 1. It goes into the variable total. So now total is equal to 1. And then it loops back around and it says 1 plus 2, which will give you 3. And then it's going to say 3, and it's going to add it to 3 to give you 6. And then it's going to keep doing that. 6 plus 4 is 10. And then 10 plus 5 is 15. If you add them all together, 5 and 4 is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So let's try this out. Ta-da. And then we're going to G++. What did I name you? I named it file.cpp. So let's sudo first. And we'll sudo file.cpp, and then we'll write it out to file. And password prompted. And that works. Let's run it. And as you can see, it prints out 15, which is our total. If you want to see this in action, how it works a little bit, we can say right here to see out total, and then see out space, and basically is every time this loops around, it'll print us our numbers, and that way we can get a general idea of how it's working. Such as you can see, it says 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, and we told it to print out our final number at the end. That's why we have it twice. If we take this off, of course it's going to only print out $115. Let's try it. Alright, so 1, 3, 6, 10, 15. So as you can see, it passes through a 0, and then it adds 1 to it, making total equal 1. So then after it equals 1, it tells it to add 2 and make itself equal that. So 1 plus 2 equals 3. So now total equals 3. And after it equals 3, it tells it to plus and equals itself. So after 3 comes 4, or actually 3 if you're talking in arrays coming from 0 up. So 3 and 3 is 6, as you can see, 6, and then now it equals 6, and then 6 plus 4, of course, is 10, right here, and then you get 10 plus 5, which gives you 15. So that's a bit more advanced, how to use arrays and the for loop together to go through all the variables in a for loop and print out certain stuff and to kind of use it. So hopefully this helped you. Sorry if I didn't explain it as good as I can. I'm learning this as well, but I thought it was really good that I should show you guys how to do that. This is Anonymous Mentor teaching you for loops and arrays, and I hope all of you have a great day. Like, subscribe, and comment if you have a question.